everybody. You have landed on the August 2022 SuperSize sales video. The sales in this video are from my Facebook group. Every month we have a dedicated thread where sellers can post their sales of $100 or more and give us a little information, a backstory, anything that can help the whole eBay community make more money. So we are going to jump right in with Bevan, who sold this t-shirt. She said $0 to $100 in 20 minutes. It can really pay to do research outside of Terapeak. Was going to list for maybe $45, but I have been Googling the band tees I have to get better dates on them, and turns out the lead singer died 3 weeks ago. Re-looked at just the recent comps, and there were a few high sales, so I listed it at $100. Another free item from picking my neighbor's garage sale leftovers. The item is original 2000s, the Black Dahlia Murder Death Metal Band t-shirt. $100. Okay, Patty Paul. She said, my mother worked in Germany in the 1990s, and I remember begging her to bring me home one of these. And over 25 years later, I was cleaning out some of my Christmas things and realized I haven't used it in over 20 years. Listed and sold within a few months. This is a vintage 1990s German Christmas wooden pyramid candle, and then a really long German word that I'm not going to try. So the way this works is you put candles in the little brass pieces here, and the heat from the candle makes the top part spin. So it's just a fun Christmas decoration. And even more fun for Patty because she sold it for $100 and it had been sitting unused for 20 years. Karen Moore O'Connor said, always pick up Johnny Was. Sold this yesterday for $100 plus shipping. I had bought it for around $4 at the Salvation Army. I listed it on eBay less than a week ago for $150. I sent an offer to a watcher for $100 and it sold immediately. So this is a Johnny Was embroidered top, size 2 extra large. $4, sold for $100. Okay, Christine Molds found some curtains at a thrift store that had stenciling on them for $5. I remembered putting stenciling on my walls in the late 80s that looked similar. I thought someone handmade these until I found a comp with the same brand that was also stenciled. They were dingy, but I was worried that the stenciling would come off if I washed them, so they sat on the floor for several months. I decided to wash them on cold. It worked and they looked great. I priced them high, thinking $100 sales thread, and ta-da, they sold in 4 weeks. So these were $5 and they sold for $100. Patricia Morales paid $6 at an estate sale, listed for $199.99, had a 40% off sale, and then had an offer of $102, took a few months to sell. These are Justin boots with a kilty lace up. They're paddock boots. So she paid $6, they sold for $102. Okay, Stacy Smith went to an estate sale that had hundreds of Longaberger baskets. While there, I heard several people say, nobody collects Longaberger anymore. A quick eBay search the day before the sale taught me that the holiday-themed baskets could do well. I just started grabbing baskets with no real clue what I was doing. Paid $10 to $15 for each basket. Bought more than 40. This one was $10, sold in about 2 months. This is a Longaberger green and plaid tidings basket from 2013. $10, sold for $102.25. Okay, Leslie Wilson said, not usually a big bookseller, but I bought this complete set at Goodwill for $15. Sold in about 2 weeks for full asking of $110 plus shipping. This is the set of My Book House 14 volumes by Olive Beaupre Miller, 1971. And I probably would have picked these up too, because just the spines you can see are beautifully ornate, and those would kind of jump out at you among all the other sort of plain looking books. I don't know this author, but the covers are whimsical, fun, childlike, and then you have the beautiful spines. So again, the author is Olive Beaupre Miller, and Leslie bought these for $15 and they sold for $110. Lisa Johnson Middleton. Super excited to have my first sale over $100. Yay, Lisa, we're excited for you. I love seeing that when it's somebody's first $100 sale. It is exciting. Started selling on eBay about a year ago and love it. Took advantage of Suzanne's free trial for the premium library and have learned so much. Oh, great. Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm glad you took advantage of that. And that is still going on. If you want to do the free trial, the code is below the video. Anyway, back to Lisa. She said, I highly recommend it. Purchased this tablecloth at an estate sale for $2. 7-day auction started at $49.99. It climbed to $76 and stayed there until the last second, then jumped to $113.39. Buyer paid shipping. Fun fact, it went to a new home within my state of North Carolina. This is a vintage Christmas tablecloth, 61 by 60, so pretty good size. And just a heads up, there are a lot of Christmas items in this video. These sales happened in July, so Christmas in July is a real thing, as you'll see with how many items in this video are Christmas themed. It was kind of shocking even to me, the one that preaches Christmas sells all year, but it really does. So Lisa's investment of $2 resulted in a sale of $113.39. Okay, Savannah Boone, a repeat offender on the $100 thread. Bought these Sam's fiber optic gingerbread houses for $10 each at Goodwill. This one sold for full asking price of $115 in 48 hours. So you can see there it is 2005 Sam's Club Holiday Collection fiber optic windmill. When I first saw this post, Savannah, I thought this was like an edible gingerbread house from 2005, and I'm like, she knows better than to list that. That's probably not going to be any good. But it's not food, it's plastic and lights and not edible. Okay, Cheryl Brewer said, this brooch was part of a larger jewelry lot. My cost per piece was about $1.50. In my research, I only found one other like mine in a different color, and that one sold for $115, so I priced mine the same. It sold for full price in about 4 months. This is a signed Vendome prismatic glass beaded flower brooch pin, and that is beautiful. $1.50 resulted in a $115 sale. Dawn McMaster has a beautiful Christmas item, bought a huge lot of ornaments, and this was in there, paid maybe $1, sold for $120 in about 6 weeks. Eno, or Ino, not sure how to pronounce that, Schaller Santa hand-blown glass ornament, and that is just gorgeous. $1 sold for $120 in July. Okay, next up is Tim and Rachel Beachy. This was fun. Found these perfect condition wicker lampshades at Goodwill for $2.29 each and knew they'd be decent. Listed them for $155.99, and with a store coupon they sold for 20% off the day after listing. The final sale price was $124.79 for 6 wicker lampshades. Carla Keister bought this vintage Barbie outfit at an estate sale for $2. My daughter shared it in a Barbie collector Facebook group so I could get the name of the outfit and found it's a rare 1960s Francie doll. Francie is Barbie's mod friend. 10 terrific outfit. Sold in about 2 weeks for full price of $125, even with the purse missing. eBay can be a family affair. So yay for your daughter, and I hope she got a cut of the profit there for doing a little bit of research. But really, $125 for some Barbie clothes? All of us 60s and 70s gals are just kicking ourselves for tossing out our Barbie stuff, because whoever dreamed it would be worth so much. Okay, and speaking of dolls, Kathleen Gifford has one. This is a Mary Hoyer doll. She was found in an attic by my daughter-in-law's father. She had been in the family since the 1940s. I offered to sell her because I had a similar doll. In fact, one of my first sales on eBay was a Hoyer's tagged outfit in 1998. She came with 2 outfits, which I decided to list separately. She took about 3 months to sell. My daughter-in-law is very happy. And this doll sold for $139. Lynn Merritt picked up these DVD series at a local thrift store, paid $40 for the series, sold in about a month for full price of $149 to a buyer with 0 feedback. This is McLeod's Daughters DVD series 1 through 8. Lynn's cost was $40 and they sold for $149. Dorcas Martin bought this American Girl doll at a yard sale for $5. She had lots of beautiful clothes that were in great condition. Listed for $199, but took a best offer of $149 after 3 weeks. Retired American Girl doll Felicity, holiday birthday dresses and accessories. $5, sold for $149. There's really some money in doll and Barbie clothes, and there you have the proof. Stacy Smith has another item, bought at an artist's lot at an estate sale. 375 brushes and about 500 tubes of vintage oil paint. I've previously only sold a couple of small lots of artist's brushes, but I knew these were a good brand that is often bought on eBay. This particular lot of brushes cost $15 total. They sold in a couple of days. Vintage Grumbacher Gainsborough Artist Paint Brushes, lot of 38, sold for $149.95, and Stacy's investment was $15. Marissa Stinson This was given to me, so the buy cost was nothing. Sold for full price in about 2 weeks. Burton Kids One Piece Snowsuit Ski Winter Jacket, size extra small, $149.99 for a free item. Jackie Basie purchased a left and right at Value Village for $8 and listed at $300 about a month ago. I confirmed that a prescription was not required before purchasing. Very smart of you, Jackie, because medical items can be a little tricky. If a prescription is required, they are not allowed on eBay. Okay, back to Jackie. She said, I think a sales rep donated them. I accepted an offer for $150. I don't haggle over offers for medical items. This is a reed sleeve peninsula medical leg lymphedema compression system. Left foot only. $150. I guess I should have titled this video The Stacy Smith Show, because here she is again. And I included this item just because it was unusual. Anyway, another Longaberger basket from the estate sale. This one was $15 and had slight damage. I'm still regretting that we didn't buy up all the baskets. Of the 40 plus we bought, we only have about 8 left. Most have sold between $70 and $250 each. There were so many rare specialty baskets at that sale. This one is 2009 Black Cat Halloween basket with lid and a liner. This sold for $159.45. And Stacy, I bet you want to go back to the person who said, "Oh, nobody buys Longaberger anymore," because you proved them wrong. Mary Disney bought a lot of Hallmark items at an auction, and this was part of them. I estimated $5 cost for these. It took about 6 weeks to sell. I sold for $170 plus shipping. These are Hallmark Christmas, another Christmas item, Happy Tappers set of 4 from 2008. $5 sold for $170 for a Christmas item in July. Are you noticing a theme? Mallory Lindsley, aka the beer can girl in Louisiana. She said, "This finally sold. I think Mom bought this at the Disney outlets in early 2000. It was my sister's, and I found it in the garage. Haha. One of the characters was lost, so I had to buy him for about $18. Kept getting low-ball offers, but I wanted to sell it for at least $175. Had a million watchers, and most people wanted it for $100. Sold for full price today. This is Disney Polly Pocket Snow White and 7 Dwarfs Bluebird complete. It's a little playhouse with the little people. And very smart of you, Mallory, to seek out the missing piece and buy it so that you could sell yours as complete. So, congratulations on that. Diana Warren purchased this Pottery Barn sofa slipcover for $22 at Goodwill and sold in less than a week for $184. New old stock items can be valuable. This sold for $184.44 and she paid $22 for it. Marissa Stinson has another item. Cleaned out my son's room and made a nice lot. This sold in about 2 weeks. Peppa Pig toy lot family tree house with a bunch of accessories. $187.49. Okay, Nikki D. Part of a giant vintage toy collection I'm selling for a local nonprofit. Thus, nothing into her, meaning no cost. Sold for full asking of $200 plus shipping. Barbie has fabulous poise. Nothing phases her, not even birds about to peck her eyeballs out. Because this is Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds 2008 Barbie doll. And I agree, Barbie is fantastically poised. Nothing is going to knock her off her feet, even though birds might peck her face off.
Good evening.
Okay, Dina Napoli. I knew Kiss memorabilia sells well, but I didn't think it would sell so fast and in any condition. This lunchbox with no thermos was from a friend's parents' house I'm helping clean out. He kept all his Matchbox cars in it. Sold for $200 in 10 minutes. And he was super happy to pass it on to another Kiss fan. Vintage 1977 Kiss metal lunchbox with no thermos. $200. Okay, here's an interesting item that many of us might just walk by because it doesn't look like anything. Doesn't look like it could possibly be worth any money. Saray Espino paid 50 cents each at Salvation Army. They are small wood carved toys sold in about 2 weeks. These are Antonio Vitali wood carved toys. Mid-century modern set of 2. Sold for $200 for these little nondescript wooden things. So I got curious about this and went to Terapeak and looked up Antonio Vitali and found that yes, these wooden carved playthings are very valuable. 37 sold in the last 365 days from 26 sellers. So the ratio of sold to sellers tells me a lot of different people are selling these. It's not just one collector who has a whole bunch. So if we look at the prices, you can see the highest priced one there sold for $659. And it looks like there are 6 pieces in that set. Who would think that? These are so nondescript. They're just plain little wooden things. And this is just what keeps me coming back to eBay is who knew, right? And here is Saray's listing showing you that 2 of them sold for $200. So once again, take a look here. Antonio Vitali wood carved toys. So now we're all going to be looking through those bins and baskets and toys and the wooden aisle at Goodwill. We're all going to be looking for these now. Thanks for that post, Saray. Okay, Diana Warren has another item, another interesting, unique item. She said, I purchased this artist-signed slumped art glass piece approximately 6 months ago for $5.50 and sold on best offer of $210. I priced it really high because there weren't any others listed and just waited, and I'm super happy with my $210 offer. The item is gorgeous slumped art glass, river stone rock, signed Dwayne Dahl, Dahl, 12 by 12, 2010. $5.50, and it sold for $210. And it's some glass with some rocks in it. So there you have it. All right, next up is Dina Moore Ross, sold on a 7-day auction for $226.76. Paid $20 at Goodwill. It was missing the plug portion of the cord, but I just happened to have a replacement. I knew as soon as I saw it, it was a must-buy thanks to this page. Danbury Mint Poodle Christmas Tree Retired Light-Up Figurine. 20 bucks, sold for $226.76. Okay, next up is Jody Clark, and I keep seeing this item but in different colors. This is a vintage set of 4 Norcrest PYNC Ukagako. Wow, that is a lot to say. Anthropomorphic pink bird wall plaques. Whew, that was a lot. Anyway, some vintage mid-century modern birds that you hang on the wall. Paid $5 at a yard sale, sold in 4 days for best offer of $240 plus $10 shipping. Okay, Ginger Lambright. I bought this at a community garage sale for $10 about a month ago. Sold for full asking price with free shipping. This is a StarTech docking station, new in the box. $10, sold for $275.99. Ginger sells anything she can get her hands on. So this is an example of a not so exciting item, but it sold for a lot of money. All right, Henna C. Paid a couple dollars for this in a bag of mixed jewelry. Took 6 months to sell. Vintage Georg Jensen brooch with butterflies and flowers. It sold for $285.60, and she has a couple of dollars in it. Okay, Jessica Wolf. This book with an original print inside was a part of a very large online auction purchase. I have 32 cents into it, and it sold for $324.02 plus shipping on a 7-day auction. So it is a antique original Japanese woodblock print. 32 cents, sold for $324. Okay, and now we're going to move on to the mega sales, those over $350. We're going to start with Melanie Freeman. Bought this Lennox Spice Village for $50 from a local lady. Sold in 1 month for best offer of $350. Very satisfied. This is vintage 1989, the Lennox Spice Village, complete maple wood holder 24 spice house. So that's an excellent sale, but wait, you get more. Nancy Sell sold almost the same thing, but without the rack. She said, my second biggest sale ever. According to my 27-year-old daughter, these are a thing on TikTok. Lennox Spice Village. I paid $35 at a yard sale, and it sold in about 3 days for full asking price of $359.99. So Nancy got about $10 more just for having the rack. But you can see it's practically the same thing, just does not have the wooden rack. So be on the lookout for those. Okay, Christy Coffer. When I saw this ring on Facebook Marketplace for $35, I couldn't get to it fast enough. I figured there was a chance that it wasn't real, but once I picked it up, I was sure it was. I kept it for a few months and really enjoyed wearing it, but I've lost about 20 pounds since I bought it, and it doesn't fit any of my fingers now. So on to eBay it went. It sold pretty quickly and for a nice profit, as you can see. This is a Tiffany silver ring. It sold for $359. And Christy was on the podcast on August 10th, and she talks a little bit more about this and her weight loss and all kinds of interesting things. So if you want to check that out, it is there. Okay, Stephen Gittler. A bit of deja vu here. Last month I sold one of these caps for $609.99. That sale even made it into Suzanne's June video. This is the second one I listed. I bought a crate full of caps at an estate sale on June 8th. So here we have another bottle cap, vintage Fink's Ale of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, bottle cap. And I asked Stephen how much he thought he paid for it, and it would be about a penny because he bought so much stuff in that lot. So the sale price was $364.99. Add this to the $609 sale. He's made almost $1,000 from 2 bottle caps. And people wonder why we are addicted to eBay. Okay, another Christmas item. Whitney Kruger says Christmas in July, paid $10 at an estate sale. One of those special sales where the contents of a home from the last 50 plus years are being cleared out. Spotted it in the pre-sale photos online. Found it among the accumulation in the basement, dusty on a shelf. Sold in about 3 months for full asking price of $375 plus shipping. This is an antique faux bois cement Christmas tree stand. So it's like a fake Christmas tree stand. Looks like a fake tree. Who knew? Didn't even know they made those. All right, moving on to Bridget with the very long last name. I found these at a garage sale 2 weekends ago. She didn't have a price on them, and I was hesitant to even ask because I'm not very knowledgeable in the boots and shoes category. She said $20, and I figured I couldn't go wrong with that price, being that they were new. I listed them earlier this week, and they sold in about 3 days. I had them listed for $399.95 and sent an offer to watchers. These sold for $380. New, vintage, Olathe men's cowboy boots. And she paid $20. They sold for $380. It wouldn't be a $100 sale video without KC, but I chose this particular item because he said he had never heard of the brand. He said, I pulled this DVD player out of the scrap metal dumpster at the recycling center. Sold for $450 in about a month. I've never heard of this brand in my life, but it's now the most expensive DVD player I've ever sold. And then Brian commented, Oppo, O-P-P-O, which is the brand, is sneaky good. I've sold a few different models on Amazon for close to $1,000. Very high-end brand of electronics. So again, the brand is O-P-P-O. And this is a DVD Blu-ray player that was free to KC and sold for $449.95. Okay, Helen Newton. My husband's first car that he asked me to sell for him. Cost was $0. Was listed about a year. Sold for $455 plus shipping by best offer. It's now going to a new home to be restored. This was my second best sale yet. The first was when we sold his 1967 Austin Healey a few years ago. This is a working vintage 1956 Murray Country Squire pedal car. And my brother had one just like this. We have pictures of him in that. It was probably around 68, 69, something like that. So this is, a child's pedal car. Sold for $455. Sharon Dorson Schultz bought this antique tea set at auction for $35. Sold it in a little over a month for full asking price of $499.99 plus $75 shipping. This is a silver plate Sheffield tea set. $35, sold for right at $500. Okay, Lori Dove. I bought this quilt at an estate sale for $30. I almost left it behind because I thought it was expensive. It was hand sewn and hand quilted. Okay, so she thought it was too much to pay for it. That's what the expensive is in reference to. The quilt had some stains, but was not faded. It was beautiful with small, even stitching. It had an enormous amount of work in it. I put it on auction starting at $199.95. I turned down a $375 offer. I was pleasantly surprised when it sold for $660. Antique handmade quilt, hand sewn bear paw pattern. 134 by 160, so that's a pretty good size. That's probably a king size. Okay, next up is Cynthia Pollock Wilson. I purchased this in a jewelry lot years ago at a live auction and paid $40 for the lot. Can't remember what else was in the lot. Couldn't make out the mark, so it got pushed to the side until now when I sought help from a Facebook group that helps identify jewelry marks. Starting bid was $99 in a 7-day auction. Was stunned at the outcome. This is a signed Schiaparelli watermelon rhinestone brooch in the shape of a rooster, and that is very unusual. Final price $676.66. Okay, Julie Gambino. Purchased at Goodwill for $7.99, sold for best offer in less than 10 days for $699. This is a 1962 Aurora Convair jet mainliner kit, so it's like a airplane kit. $700 for this. Who says eBay is dead? eBay's not dead. If it were, these kind of sales would not be happening. Okay, Amy Elizabeth gets the award for the creepiest item in this video. The Rushton plush, they are just frightening and terrifying, and I don't know why you would give this to a child, but I guess, these were made back in the 60s when everyone was doing drugs, and who knew? I don't know. I never had one of these. I would have been terrified. Anyway, Amy says, found this vintage plush at the bins. I couldn't believe she was still there after several pickers had searched through this bin. I do the clothing bins first, then head over to the wares. She cost me $1.25. Sold for full asking price of $749.99. Buyer left positive feedback, thankfully. And again, this is a vintage Rushton Company rubber face plush doll, and it's a cow. And yes, it is terrifying, but for $1.25 and a profit margin that huge, I would probably bring this into my house for a very short time. Okay, that wraps up another edition of eBay SuperSize sales of $100 or more. Thank you to everyone who participates in this thread every month. I appreciate you watching, and as always, appreciate your comments. Have a great day on eBay. See you next time. Bye.